Welcome back to the After Dark podcast where we discuss topics that are none of our business. It's your boy Black Mike on the mic. We got Big Stir up top. You already know what it is. Make sure you like and subscribe. Ring the notification bell on YouTube. Give us 5 stars and leave a comment on any audio platform you may be listening to. So, hey, we are back, baby. Big news. I don't think it gets any more American than Super Bowl Sunday. We get Kanye's new album. Well, Kanye might not be the epitome of patriotism right now, but like...
He might be in some people's eyes.
But, I mean, he's showing that patriotism doesn't even really exist in the United States because everyone claims they hate him, yet he's number one every single country right now, breaking records. It's insane. It is insane, but, you know, Sterling, how was your weekend? What did you do for the Super Bowl? You do anything fun, man? How was going on?
Nah, bro, being it's actually low key depressing itself. I guess you can't. I mean, some people can see it in a bad way. I guess you can see it in a bad way also as like a positive. But yeah. So what did I do this weekend? Oh yeah. So this weekend went out with some friends on Friday night, I believe it was, and just like went out with them. Went out with my black friends, by the way. Let me mention that. Went out with my black friends. You guys probably think I just get a bunch of white friends and people that aren't like, or quote unquote.
Well, they definitely think you got a bunch of white friends now that you feel the need to specify that you went out with black friends.
Hey, like we didn't give any background on who I am, so it doesn't necessarily need to be like expressed again. But
also, if you didn't know he had white friends, just look at this nice ass fucking apartment he's in with a bunch of fucking dogs. Like, that's how you know this nigga ain't been around.
Nah, bro.
This nigga's not around niggas on a daily basis, bro.
But yeah, so we went out on Friday night. You know how I was hanging out with my brothers because we were drinking Hennessy for the pregame. And I was like, oh, dude. So went out and we went to some more some spots that I've never been to before. And
no,
I mean, I've heard of them because I saw them on like there's an Instagram account that highlights them and stuff like that when they opened up like a year or two ago, and went there and it was I regret it. I'm gonna be honest. I regret it. Like I didn't spend that much money. I didn't stay out that long. I probably spent like $100 maybe. Maybe a little under 100, like including the Ubers and whatnot, and got back to the apartment around like 1:30, and then my roommate and his girlfriend and her roommate were chilling with like the guy she's talking to, like the guy that her roommate's talking to, and 2 of her friends. One of the guys being gay, and the other girl just like a random girl. And we like came back, played pool for a little bit, and then they had Korean barbecue at the house, so we cooked up Korean barbecue. Dude, I was feeling so good. Hey, if y'all want to know one thing about me, I love some beef bulgogi. Oh my god! Oh, hey, that's what we got to do next time you come to Charlotte. We're gonna get some Korean barbecue, bro. It's gonna be gas. You're gonna love it. You're gonna be like, damn, I'm gonna be fat as hell after this for sure because that is all you can eat. That's how that shit works. And it was good, dude. And then I woke up next morning, crazy. Woke up to like my roommate's girlfriend's friend, the gay guy, slept on the couch. So the reason I mentioned this is that's why I mentioned that he was gay. Slept on the couch that night. I guess I blacked out because we were up kind of late, and we were back in my apartment. And I remember going to my bed, but then I woke up on the couch like parallel to him, like so like he's on the or like perpendicular, so he's like this way, and then I'm like side on this like this way. It's an L-shaped couch, and I wake up fully clothed, like, and my belt is like halfway undone. I'm like, did I?
You're setting this story up wild, bro.
I'm like, what the hell happened? And Ed was like, bro, like you went to the bathroom and you literally came out here and just passed out. And I was
like, all right, bet, thank God.
I'm like, and I know myself well enough. Like I do dumb stuff when I'm blackout or when I like black out. But I was like, bro, it's probably because it's like I've been sleeping on the couch like recently because I'm in the transition between a new job and I haven't been having to work. So I've just been like chilling, watching Netflix on the couch and like napping and sleeping on it. So I think that is like subconsciously what my brain was telling me was like, oh, like you're gonna go back to the living room.
Yeah.
Yeah. I woke up hungover and then I walked over. We had a breakfast tacos thing in my apartment. Matt, dude, thank God. I just got there in time. They were packing it up. Hash browns, bacon, egg, cheese, and I was farting like a motherfucker the whole day. Bro. That's just like that. I mean, dude, I took 2 showers to try to like wash my ass, thinking it was gonna make it.
Yo, your farts starting to smell like your dad's like old farts. Like you remember when your dad used to fart in the car back in the day, and that shit used to smell like fucking rotten eggs, bro. I feel like I'm getting old as hell now that my farts I like be sniffing them shits and be like, oh damn, getting PTSD flashbacks, all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
But either way, yeah. And then Sunday, man, watched the Super Bowl alone. That is the first time in my entire. I think I even texted you that. That's the first time in I think my entire life, my 26-year-old life now that I've watched Super Bowl alone. It was, I mean, granted, it's weird, definitely for sure, but watched a great game. Had some drinks, made some salmon and some mashed potatoes, specialty, and went to bed. Roommate got home like 12:30 a.m. I think from Lunar New Year, and that was it, man. I'm sorry that was a long recap for the folks, but it was an interesting weekend to say the least.
Oh yeah, well. I spent my weekend, at least not my weekend. I'll say my Super Bowl Sunday with white friends. So the opposite of what Sterling did. And, the fact that they were white became very prevalent when the halftime show came on and I'll get to it once we start talking about the halftime show, but that's when it was really clear that it was like, okay, I'm in a room of white people. But no, it was a great time. Watched the Super Bowl. Super Bowl was awesome. Good game. Started off slow, but it was a great game. There's some good food and whatnot. Some good people. Met some new people. So it was definitely a good time. Solid weekend. But we will go ahead and roll into the show. But before we get into the Super Bowl and the halftime show, one man that trumps all news anytime he steps out and drops some music is the king himself, still king, anti-Semitic, and he's still king. He let you know that. Kanye fucking West, man. Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign dropped the long-anticipated collab album, Vultures, Volume 1, which is now broke the record for it's been number 1 in the most countries by any collab album since Drake's Her Loss. So it is tied with Drake Her Loss, and Kanye himself as a solo artist has broken the record of being number 1 in every country, breaking, I believe it was either Drake or Taylor Swift's record. But so he's coming out and he's breaking records, and he dropped this a day late, and for all you Spotify people, it was probably 2 days late because y'all want to be different. Y'all swear that Spotify recap is fucking fire, but guess what? Kanye let y'all know, big boy. This big boy city over here. We do big business. Apple Music, big business. So all you Spotify people, I know you're just now getting in tune with the album. You're just now listening to it. You might be getting towards the bottom. So I'm gonna do a recap, and we're gonna get into it to make sure you have a chance to hear it like us Apple Music folks. But to get off my first initial reaction, my first initial thoughts on this album, I had a lot of thoughts, to be honest, right? So let me start this by saying I don't think this is a perfect album. There's clearly flaws on this album, but there's a lot of high points to it as well. It's a cool album. And one thing I noticed about Kanye, it doesn't really seem like he's focused on making songs that kind of like gravitate through radio and everything like that. Doesn't seem like that's his MO anymore. He's really making concepts and, these crazy beats and these sonic sounds that we haven't heard before, which is one thing about Kanye that you always get. Nothing ever sounds like a Kanye album. Like he's always doing something different. It always sounds completely out there. in accordance to anything else that's out there. You know, the only person that can really kind of put in that atmosphere, in that stratosphere of who's making like different kind of music is Travis Scott. I would say like Travis Scott always has a new sound that doesn't sound like anything else. But there's some high points on this album for sure. I like the intro Stars is amazing. That's a great way to start the album off. Do It is really cool. This is how you do a sample, people. When you're taking up old samples, look at Kanye. He doesn't rip it off on some cheesy bullshit. He does it really cool. Obviously, people love Fuck Some. Carnival's a beast. Beg Forgiveness. God. Chris Brown and Kanye, when they get together, bro, that shit is crazy. Beg Forgiveness is probably one of my favorite tracks on this album. Like, that shit's so much fun to sing Chris Brown's song. Beg forgiveness of me. I love that shit, bro. And then Problematic with Freddie Gibbs, featuring Freddie Gibbs. That song is crazy. That's some of the best bars that I've heard Kanye spit in a hot minute. And it was, it was kind of taking a throwback there, and he was really just letting you have it. So, I mean, I thought the album was overall, I thought it was a good album, and I'm excited that it's finally in our phones.
Yeah. I mean, there was a ton of anticipation, like obviously leading up to Vultures Volume 1. We know that obviously Kanye's a creative and at heart, and is obviously going to be able to put out a ton of music. Granted, I mean, it's not too long ago since we saw the album in Donda, which also had, we'll probably say, the most like hyped up album in a long time. Up to that point, obviously Travis Scott's Utopia, and then For All the Dogs had their hype as well. But the way that Kanye was hyping it up, doing mini concerts and leaks and intros, and I mean, like, super, super insane. But obviously with Vultures 1, just initial thoughts as well. Like, obviously, I do agree with you. I think Stars was a really good way to start the album. I'm not a massive, I don't know. It's hard for me to say because, like, it's all about moods, right? It's all about your mood when you come in to listen to an artist, regardless of whatever type of artist they are, what type of album it's supposed to be. Like, if you're coming in like, oh, I want bangers, or banger after banger after banger, or I want artistry, or I want collectiveness, I think Kanye's ability to give you all three of those things on an album, like you said, it is a mood-based type of thing, but I think it pays to recognize he can basically get you in whatever mood you want, right? And I found, like, personally, Carnival was, I mean, I think that's one of the songs that's been going around a lot.
Yeah.
People have been, harping on. I love it. I think it'd be a shame to say nobody else does. You don't like it, or say if you're listening don't like it. Listen to it a couple of times. Give it a chance. Obviously, I'm with you. I'm a big Chris Brown fan myself. Beg Forgiveness went crazy, and I love Paid with Future. I don't know, Future just has the nostalgia. He has a grip on me, bro. When it comes to nostalgia and just the way, like, his voice and everything. Yeah. It just rolls. Speaking of that, there's an unreleased Future song that has, I think, Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign on it, and I think it's going to be on Volume 2. It might not be. It was a leak. I think it is called Dead. No, it's Future Lil Durk, but it's a Vultures-esque thing, and you can find it on SoundCloud, but it's like a little fucked up with the bass, but that shit is dumb. It's
Volume 2 comes out in like a month too, I think.
Yeah, so I hope that they remaster that on Volume 2 and actually don't let it just be a leak, because that shit goes hard. If you haven't heard it, Mike, I'll send it to you, or like you can. I think honestly, I think I found it off of TikTok, so you can probably find it that way. But and then also another song that there it is, Dead. I'm an idiot. There's right there. But I don't think it's on the album. That's the thing I'm confused about.
No, it's not on the album.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, and it might have got cut.
There's a few that got cut. I know everybody, obviously, that anticipated. Yeah. Most of them are probably samples didn't get cleared in time. There's a Lil Wayne feature that got cut. One of my okay, so I know you might not like this, but Travis Scott on the Fuck Some, I could have gone without. The original version with Quavo, to me, is so much more fire. It sounded like so much more of a club banger. And I find myself every single time where I'm that, like, Shawty want to fuck some. Yeah, I just want to fuck something right now, split that little G6. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, Quavo went in on it. His verse, too. Like,
his flow just hits super, super well for that type of stuff, too. I mean, you know how I am about Travis, and I have, like, that personal, now, I don't want to say personal connection. I have no connection to Travis Scott. Him and I don't relate on really anything at all, actually. Funny enough. But, yes, I do agree with you. I mean, in that light, I wouldn't say I wouldn't want him to be there, but
no, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at Travis.
He could do less.
Or you could have, like, you didn't have to take Quavo away. Like, you could have kept Quavo up there. Honestly, if you just would have kept that little, like, I want to fuck someone and split this little G6 line in there, I'd have been happy, because I find myself saying that every time I hear that song when his part comes on. I'm just like, dude, that little small little addition is like mad catchy and kind of like adds a little hype to it. But one thing I noticed about this album too is this is definitely made to be listened to live. This is live performance music.
Oh, hell yes.
And this shit has got people pissed. This shit has got people mad, bro. Niggas are mad as fuck at this album. And I don't know if you saw this, Anthony Fantano, the YouTube music critic that, reviews and rates all albums for, you know how we do. YouTuber gets famous, so now he's like a credible source of ranking albums, even though he knows no music better than anybody who's listening to this podcast right now. So he's just as much of a critic as we are. And he tends to rate rap albums really low. So I don't know why we always put these fucking white dudes on a pedestal to rate music, and then they always give rap shitty fucking scores. So I don't get it. But he basically said that this album was unreviewable because Kanye is such a bad person. And there's one line on this album that Kanye said, like, damn, I'm drawing a blank. I would draw a fucking blank right when I had it. Right, I forget what the album is, but it's something about how, like, fuck your opinion. Your opinion doesn't change the cost of these motherfucking tickets, which I thought was hard as fuck, bro.
Do you remember what song that was on?
Oh man, let me see. Look at this track list.
Was it? It's not on Burn, is it? Because that was one of my favorite songs.
I think it's on. I want to say it's on Do It.
It probably is, because if it's on, I don't know.
Do you like that song? Do It's fire, bro.
Yeah, when YG's featured on a song, but there's two ways it can go, right? One of two ways, right? It's one being like, this shit is going to be like, honestly, I think every time YG's on a track, unless it's his own album, like I said, featured, he's like, whoever the artist he's with is somehow throwing shots unless it's some type of R&B mixed rap type of thing. It's in like super subliminal ways. If you go back and listen to his features and when he's with other rappers, no matter how big or small, dude, people just throw haymakers on those tracks for no reason, because YG's not no crazy, like, I'm a spit bars at you type of guy. Granted, like, he has obviously the, iconic Fuck Donald Trump song that, goes crazy. But, I mean, unless you're a fan of Donald, even if you are, it still goes hard. But, yeah, I really like Burn, and I really liked, obviously I like Fuck Some, I like Carnival. Like, I mean, it just, I'm low key, like, we grew up in the pop era. Like, you gotta remember, like, Mike and I did. Like, we both grew up in the pop era. So, like, when something sounds poppy or, like, something that could be on the radio, we're gonna be on it, too. But also can appreciate the artistry that comes with Kanye West, because Beg for Forgiveness it would probably be on the radio, too, if I listened to it. I wouldn't know. But I like that take on it's more of a stadium or concert type of thing. And because them tickets are going to go crazy.
Those tickets are going to be stupid, bro. And like, even though they're going to be all on football fields, but they're still going to be stupid, bro.
I mean, like, the Drake tour, and now he's on the, what do you call it, tour as well, with J. Cole. I can't remember.
Oh, that world tour, that Europe tour, or something like that.
Yeah, they're on that tour right now. Like, obviously Drake's an icon. Like he's reached icon status. We talked about Drake a million times in this podcast. Like and it's never honestly going to get old because he always delivers. But that being said, like this album, these songs, this just track list in and of itself was built to be in a stadium performance, built for it. Like Drake shit is like we know how it goes, bro. We gonna vibe to it regardless. He got us in a trance.
Yeah,
like there's nothing he can do wrong. I did love I love that Cardi's getting on the features here. I love I don't ever understand what Cardi's saying, bro.
You don't have to. That's the point. And you really just be listening to the flow. Like his flows are crazy. It's like if he could really spit rhymes, then he'd be like one of the best rap. His delivery would be one of the best out there because all the flows that he comes up with are just insane.
Yeah. I mean, it is actually nutty because like I'm like at a point where I realize like, what the fuck? I realize that when it comes to music now, like it has to be big artist or bust, or it has to be like that's how I'm at that point now where I feel like I can't like be at some like weird space or weird stage of like, oh, like I like this small time artist and their album. I don't fuck with that shit, bro. I want to hear the big boys, the dogs. I want to hear the dogs. Like
it's cool finding like a small artist from time to time, but it's like, bro, like why ain't your shit like breaking mainstream?
Exactly. I think I might have talked about it on the last pod, but like there's a song that Kai Cenat, could we start talking about R&B that Kai Cenat listened to on the stream, and you know Kai Cenat's obviously one of the biggest streamers in the world.
Yeah.
And it was his R&B song. This kid, I never heard of the kid, but it's a fire song. I fuck with it. I listen to it on almost a daily basis now, it feels like. And it's just because of that influence. But the thing is, like, now, like, in FYI, if you aren't paying big streamers to react to your albums live, you're dumb. If you can afford to, and even, like, somebody like, I know this is a weird segue, but like, Kai was talking about how artists and labels will pay him to react to their albums, from their artists, and he's like, I don't even take the money because I don't want them to think like that's gonna buy my like kindness on how I'm gonna view the album.
Oh, he dumb as fuck. I'm taking that money and shitting on
it. but he was basically saying like, I know if I do not give them good critics or good feedback, it's not going to do as well because of the type of influence that I have at the top, like right now. And he's like, that could be ultimately detrimental to me in the long run. So, I mean, granted, he just got a Nike deal, so I don't think he's worried about anything right now, which is insane, by the way.
A streamer got a Nike deal, bro. Your favorite fucking basketball player is still trying to get his fucking Nike deal.
Like, I mean, let's be real here, like, we're at a point now where that's the type of influence you need. So like FYI, if you're an up and coming artist or like you're a middle tier artist where you want to get more exposure, dude, if you can like shout out to these guys and get in touch with them, like they'll hear you out, they'll listen to your shit. Like, but I mean, some of them come at a cost, some of them don't. And like,
I imagine there has to be some level of credibility there too. Like I doubt that they're just taking bags to listen to any random person's music. Like there's got to be some buzz generated around it, so you know their fans are even interested in the reaction itself, right?
Yeah.
No. I mean, this is I think it's a good album. It's crazy to think that he had some like those songs that you were talking about that didn't make the cut. Imagine if they were on the track list, like how many like notable songs there would be on this. But I mean, there's 3 volumes of this. So we have 2 more albums that we're going to get. One more supposedly in a month. We'll see how that works out. You know how it goes. We might as well be happy that we got one out right now, but it's crazy to think that we potentially might have another one out in a month, plus all the other albums that are coming out this year. Like, this could be 2024. Could this be the new 2016? I don't know. This might be up there.
I don't know. And it'll be low-key carried by literally 2, maybe 3 people, being Kanye, J. Cole, I believe, and then Cardi. I mean that could
we're getting Carter 6.
Oh yeah, and Lil Wayne. Sorry.
And he said he wants the New Orleans halftime show next year.
Yeah, I saw that.
So he said he's got to bring his plan is to bring it with his next album. So there's no way they could tell him no. So all I'm saying is, if you got Wayne hungry like that Carter 6 boy, best believe we gonna review it.
Yeah, I mean, and if I come out and shit on it, and somehow Mike is like upset, like don't be mad at me. I'm sure it won't be bad.
Yeah, if he comes out and shit on it, and somehow you never see it because it got cut out the podcast. This is a 30-minute block just randomly. Like, so Sterling, what you think? It's like, oh, on to the next topic.
I think that like right now, what realistically, like, and this is just advice for, like I said, anybody up and coming, not even up and coming, just any artist right now, especially if you're not, like, if you lost some of that mainstream media, because Lil Wayne has lost some of that mainstream influence that he did have. It just is what it is. But it's not to say that everybody's not going to go and listen to it. It's like bring in features that are with people that are like not up and up, but like people that are like other people want to listen to as well on top of you. So it brings in more interest to your music and your albums, because people unfortunately people like say they love albums, but I feel like a lot of people don't, because they don't understand what goes behind and what goes into an album, like the type of time, the production. Because even on this, like on the Volume 1 Vultures, like I could tell even some of the production on that, and like granted the production was good, but like I could tell some of it was a little off where they didn't want it to be. Like, and from what my understanding sounded like scratchy. Sure. I know sometimes Kanye does that with his newer music. He makes songs like scratchier and stuff like that. But there's some songs where I'm like, that's not supposed to be there. Like that type of like audio frequency that I'm hearing right now is not supposed to be what I'm hearing.
And it really wasn't the mastering. It really wasn't that loud. I don't know about you, but like in my headphones in my car, like it's not as loud as I would like it to be. So. Yeah, the
master with like Drake's album, same shit.
Yeah, but the thing with Kanye is like that's going to get fixed over time. What we have in our phones is likely to change. I think there's like a Kendrick feature that he's supposedly thinking about putting in one of the songs. So that's one of the crazy things about what he's doing. He's like creating live art, right? So like it's constantly changing. He's going to remix these songs, and then we're going to wake up one day and play it, and you'll notice something slightly different about it, which is cool. But also, like, if you buy it or you download the songs, then you get to keep the original version. That won't change. So, I mean, I like it. Yeah, I think it's cool. But you also get those situations where on Fuck Some, I really prefer Quavo on that song, and now he's no longer on the song. So it's cool. It's a preference. Obviously, you get to see where his preference lies in the music that he's creating. So I do fuck with how he changes it. It's a live art perspective. But one thing that I did also think about Kanye that this made me think about, so we always credit Taylor Swift, right, and Beyonce as the closest to Michael Jackson. But if we really want to like dive into it, could Taylor Swift or Beyonce say as much fucked up shit and, dogpile their career as many times as Kanye has and still end up on top like him? Like, imagine if Kanye was just this clean-cut boy making the same music that he has now, but he's like a darling in the United. Imagine how big he would be. Like, he's breaking records and people swear that they hate him. I was like, all right, I see on my Twitter that y'all hate him and that y'all are mad at him. Who is it that hates him? Because it's not showing up on his. This album is projected to do 140,000 first week. This is with a day late. Spotify got it another day late after that. It was not being promoted. I don't know what it looked like on Spotify's dashboard, but at least on Apple Music, it was not promoted on like the main music page for browsing. Like there was nothing up there for it showing it at all. And also, like, they're doing some funny business with the charts. They actually deleted the album for like a split second too. So he's kind of getting blackballed and still doing 140,000 first week with all of that I just mentioned.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. It's weird because, like, obviously we know Kanye has had a streak of obviously the anti-Semitic stuff, which is, we do not condone that ever. But in that same vein, like, he's somehow still like controlling the game with all the negative, connotation of his name right now. And it is true. Like, if Beyonce or like Taylor did the same thing, like, women are like primary followers of them. So they're a little bit more, and this is just biology. I'm not being on some weird, like, alpha male type, podcast type thing. Like, they're a little bit more emotional and more willing to react based on their emotions. And that being said, there is definitely a big effect that could happen to them if that was the case. But obviously they wouldn't do that because they understand their crowd is who they are.
I'm going to say what Sterling won't say. Women aren't loyal and are two-faced, and the moment that Taylor Swift or Beyonce did anything slightly fucked up, they would turn on them and their careers would be in the fucking gutter. And us dudes, as long as you drop good music, it trumps all. Like, we've said this on this pod plenty of times. You can do whatever you want in this world. No matter how fucked up that shit is, as long as you drop new music, you're good. I swear to God, if R. Kelly had another classic in the tuck when he was going through his trial, if he just had one he was sitting in on the vault on his flash drive and he put that on DSP during his trial, that nigga would be out and about roaming the streets right now. I put that on money, bro. I put that on money.
The jury would have been like, yeah, we bodied, bro. Like, you good. Can we listen to the album real quick?
Yeah, bro. If he had another I Believe I Can Fly or Step in the Name of Love Just Chillin', bro, there ain't no way we would have let that nigga go to prison. I'm just telling you.
I mean, it's facts, bro. We need the new music. But I will say, man, it's an impressive album. I will say the least. If I had to give it a score off of first listen, like, because I haven't listened to it a ton. I've re-listened to songs, but I haven't re-listened to the album the way that I typically do with most albums, about 2 or 3 times. Typically before I feel comfortable, but if I had to just off the cuff, go like a 7-8, just because I wanted other songs that weren't up there, and then like you have some feelings that there's some songs that you wanted extra, like the Quavo instead of Travis, like would have wanted that there, that type of thing. But overall, I think Kanye is a master at his craft, and he does exactly what he's supposed to do when it comes to delivering. And I can't remember how I rated these, Utopia or Drake's. I need to start taking notes in the files, in the doc, and like having these marked.
I can tell you that Drake and Utopias were definitely higher than 7 to 8.
Yeah. I would give it a 7-8, and people are like, oh, you're gonna give it an 8. Well, the thing is, like, I would give it an 8 something, but at the same time, like, I feel there was just some things that were missing that I wanted, and that's okay. Like, he's got multiple volumes coming out. Like, he's not expecting us to love every single volume, like, full, this is a 10 out of 10. So,
well, he might, but it's just not realistic.
I mean, Kanye is a psychotic, crazy dude. And then, like I said, I think, yes, narcissist. I think right now my favorite song is probably Basic, but Fuck Some, and then probably goes to like Carnival, or sorry, Burn. I really like Burn a lot.
Burn is. I think
I don't know if it's that song or another song. He says something about, because it's funny, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting off track, but like there's a clip, right, like where Kanye, like, or Kim's talking about Kanye loves taking the kids to school because he can't, like, he's not living with her, obviously they're divorced, all that other stuff, and he brings like a fire truck, and so then there's a video of like Kanye talking about like, oh, he wants, like, North wanted to show Kanye something. Obviously that's her dad. She just really wanted to show him something in her room, like I guess she made or something like that. And he couldn't go in because I guess Kim had another dude in there. And then I don't know if it was Burn or it was another song, he had mentioned like can't even come in that, like something like directly according to that. And I was like, this dude is never gonna let this go, which I respect because like at the end of the day, I mean like they're both really weird, fucked up people, but like I mean you can't even come in the house to see your own kid because another nigga you fucking is in the house.
I'm gonna say it, man. I think Kanye's better off. I'm taking Bianca over Kim Kardashian any day of the week.
Kim's got all the baggage, literally and figurative. Not anymore with the physical baggage. She's got all the baggage with her. And then
Bianca just seems like she ain't got no like. She just seems like she's goes with the flow. Don't really. She always sounds every time.
The album cover.
Yeah, that's her.
Somebody else.
That's her. Yeah.
That's special. That's special right there.
Yeah, no. So if I had to rate this album, I'm kind of right there with you, Sterling. Actually, I think I have it a little bit lower than you do. I'd probably put it at like 7.4, if I'm being honest. And for the same reason that you kind of spoke to, there are like super high highs for me. Like there's songs that I go to, but as an album's perspective, I don't really just let it run through. Right now, I haven't at least, but with Kanye's albums, they're known to grow on people over time too. So I wouldn't be surprised if this kind of has the same effect as like The Life of Pablo. That wasn't a super smash right out the gate, but now it's known as one of his most essential albums that he's ever put out. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like that, but I thought there were some good highs. I thought there were some cool, like very creative new sounds that he put up there. Like Sterling, there were some songs that I was really looking forward to that I hope is on the next volume or the volume after that. Because I think there's some highlights that he still left off this project, which is probably strategically smart for him to do. Yeah, to keep some hits on the next few that we're all anticipating as well. So, but he was talking his shit. I think my favorite part about this album is that he was talking his shit. He was like, he got to everything people were, speaking on his behalf about. He even spoke on the whole like public blowjob thing. He was saying like Bianca's gonna suck me up, and then like the music kind of went down. And he was like publicly, and I was like, oh, that's hard because the whole boat incident. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.4. Favorite tracks on the album is probably Beg Forgiveness, Problematic, and Do It. Those are probably my three favorites. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see what he brings out next. Obviously, a master, like I've mentioned already, a master to his craft. And to speak on Kanye, obviously he's had some even more controversy with Bianca in terms of the risque photos and all this stuff. They got the cold shoulder from Leonardo DiCaprio and other celebrities at the Super Bowl, which I want to speak on that before we even get in the Super Bowl. Y'all don't realize, I know all y'all were at Epstein's Island, bro. Like, don't act like y'all ain't fucked up. Like, right. I know all, like the list is gonna come out even more and more, and y'all all about, oh damn, like we can't even hate on him. Like he may be anti-Semitic, but like he wasn't there.
Hey, Kanye ain't gonna be on that list.
Oh, I mean, he wasn't there. Oh, this guy had frequented Epstein Island 10 or 1,000 times in his time. He was there for consecutive days for at least this amount of time. Can't wait for that coming out. Obviously, love Leo, love a lot of celebrities that were there. I enjoy what they do and their contribution to society. But y'all need to grow the fuck up. Let's move on. In that same vein, we were talking about the Super Bowl. Obviously, we have a new Super Bowl champion. We have the same champion as last year. The Kansas City Chiefs win 25-22 in overtime on a holding play or on multiple holding calls that should have been called. But yeah, 49ers lost 22-25 to the Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes solidifies himself as a first ballot Hall of Famer if he hadn't already, and is trending in the direction of quote unquote the GOAT, trying to catch Brady. They might as well make a freaking docu-series about that, to be frank. It might go crazy. That's a great idea. If I had the money in production, I'd do it. But let me start with one thing and one thing first.
All right.
Actually, not one thing, a couple things.
We're going to get into it all, so it's all good. Let's do it.
So I'm texting Mike before the game and kind of during it a little bit. And I remember at the beginning of the game, before the game, or right at the top of the game, Mike was like, CMC's got to have a crazy day. Like, he's got to go crazy, blah, 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 blah. And we were just talking like that, saying like, yeah. And I'm seeing, as the game goes on, I'm like, damn, like, especially the first drive, I'm like, damn, like, CMC's talking about business. He did not leave the Carolina Panthers or get traded for no reason not to come here and win a Super Bowl, with the Monstars, obviously, and Brock Purdy. And I was watching the game, and Tony Romo, I was telling my dad when him and I talked yesterday afternoon over the phone for like 30 minutes, mostly about the Super Bowl, about some other stuff too, but mostly about the Super Bowl. He was like, I was telling him, I agree with Tony Romo a ton during that broadcast, because usually he's stroking off Patrick Mahomes. He still did that, of course. But that being said, he was like, Mike Shanahan, like were having success with the run while they're like kind of pounding the ball down the field at the time. And he said, Mike Shanahan needs to stay with this. He's got to remember, like, he's not trying to have a catastrophe. Say what?
Kyle.
Oh, Kyle.
Mike's dad. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I said this the other day, I think, when I was telling my dad too. But Kyle Shanahan knows better to not like pound the football when you're having progress on the ground, especially after the comeback he had that happened to him with the Patriots at the Falcons.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the game. I'm like, damn, like CMC, like Brock Purdy seems comfortable, like vibing, because like there's obviously they can't say Christian McCaffrey's getting 4 to 5 yards a run. I mean, a run easy too. Like not even like he's getting contact. He's getting touched on the 4th yard of the 5-yard run. And throughout the game, they progressively stopped giving him the football. Like just stop. They're like, no handoffs, no pitches. He's the leading rusher in the NFL.
Well, his bum ass fumbled the ball.
Well, he fumbled. No, he did fumble. And granted, and then what do you call it? The defense comes back and plays great defense and holds them to nothing and gets the ball right back.
Yeah.
Like they did the defense came out. They said, we got to answer and make sure they don't get points up on the board. That's what they did. You had the Kansas City Chiefs at halftime with what? 3 points?
Yeah, I think it was 10-3, right?
Yeah, 10-3 at halftime. You held Patrick Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, or the best cornerback in the NFL, to 3 points in the first half. He did not put a ball in the end zone. They barely got it through the uprights because the dude kicked a 57-yard field goal.
Yeah.
I mean, you were in the driver's seat, and everybody knew it. Like, Patrick Mahomes, you could tell he was – I think Mike even texted me, like, Patrick Mahomes was rattled because he was. Joey Bosa and Chase Young were doing a great job with lane integrity, man. They were holding him right, just sucking him in. And they did an amazing job. Then, obviously, the Chiefs' tackle started to hold, and they weren't calling it. So, that is what it is. I'm just saying how it is. Like, I saw I said it the last week when they played the freaking Ravens. It's the same thing. They don't call the holding calls on the Chiefs, which is okay. Whatever. I get it. Like, it's Patrick Mahomes. You got a script you guys got to follow. And if the NFL ain't scripted, why is this man standing around the football and having the punt get muffed? Like, tell me how that makes sense. How often does that happen? Never. It's the NFL. Like when you are literally running, he can see. This dude can literally almost see the punt returner going like this, yelling Peter. And like Tony Romo was giving some insight saying Peter means just get away. Like everybody run, like get the hell away. Like don't touch the football. And then they're mad, and then they're like, oh, and this kid was a rookie. I feel bad for him. He's probably gonna get cut somewhere somehow. Actually, he can't unless he was like a late round draft pick. But my thoughts on it are that moment right there changed the entire trajectory of the game. The entire trajectory. The two things. One, stop giving the ball to Christian McCaffrey, which Kyle Shanahan loved not doing. Thinking Brock Purdy, trying to show that Brock Purdy's a great quarterback. Nobody gives a fuck if he's a great quarterback or not. Nobody gives a fuck. He's not that good. Like, he has the Monstars and CMC, or CMC's part of the Monstars. Stop giving him football. Two, muff a punt and give Patrick Mahomes the ball at the 22-yard line. Yeah, all right. He's not going to put points up on the board. Come on, dude. Like,
I only walk away with one thing, dude.
They have no reason winning that football game.
I only walked away with that game with one thing. That was a nice little monologue, little soliloquy you gave right there. But you could have summed it up with one thing, and that is Patrick Mahomes is the motherfucking dude. as much as we hate to say it, as much as he's probably like top 3 most hated quarterback. I will put Dak Prescott as number 1 because y'all sure as hell talks about him like y'all fucking hate this nigga.
He's a Cowboys quarterback, man. If he played for any other team, he probably wouldn't be hated. You know that.
Yeah, imagine Patrick Mahomes if he was a Cowboys quarterback. The hate would be crazy.
Jesus Christ, I would be on a different level of hate. But lucky he's coached by Andy Reid.
Yeah, Andy Reid's extremely likable. I think.
Yes,
I fuck with Andy Reid. And he was a former Eagles coach, and I always had a lot of respect for Andy. But Patrick Mahomes is just that dude. Like, can we really let's put in perspective what we're watching. And so I remember you went for the 49ers. Everybody I was watching the game with was going for the 49ers. My dad had the Chiefs. Then I spoke to him right before I left to go watch the game. He was like, I'm switching and I'm going to the 49ers. And I said the same saying that I said to you right before we started this pod to every single one of them folks. You never bet against Jordan. I'm like, would you bet against Michael Jordan in the prime of his career? Would you do it? No, you probably did. But if you had a second chance to go back and do it again, would you bet against him? No. Well, let me tell you, motherfucker, this is about the closest thing to Jordan that we've seen in football. This start to a career, and it was on First Things First, Nick Wright brought this up, and it's actually insane. This is the greatest start to a sports career. Well, it's by far the greatest start to a football sports career we've ever seen. And it's top 3 greatest start to any sports career. And guess who he's being compared to that he didn't beat out? Bill Russell. So we understand what Bill Russell, his first 7 years, he won 7 championships. He had 4 MVPs. But we understand what kind of league that was back then. And it's not the same.
He was busting down on white niggas, bro. He was busting down.
That's all it was. And then Wayne Gretzky had 2 championships and 7 MVPs in his first 7 years. It was fucking nuts. That's fucking stupid, bro. Oh my God.
Hockey is a different world, bro.
That's wild. And so Patrick Mahomes, he has 3 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 league MVPs. In 7 years, he has he's been to the AFC Championship game. Every year he's been a starter. This is unprecedented. What we're seeing is just absolutely unfathomable right now. I think we're really numb to what's going on. But this is crazy. And the crazy thing about it is, they showed the start to Brady's career versus Patrick. And it's very similar as far as our hardware and accolades. But statistically speaking, Patrick Mahomes blows Brady out the water. But hardware, I think he has 1 more Super Bowl MVP. They got, and they have the same amount of Super Bowls. But it's crazy. But the thing about Brady is right after this run for Brady, he went a decade without getting another one. Right? And then he started a whole other dynasty after that, which is why we look at Brady as the GOAT. Can you sit here on this screen and tell me that you think Patrick Mahomes is going to go a decade without getting another one? I can't even.
I know, man.
I couldn't picture him going a decade and not getting him at least 2, 3. Yeah. Who's going to beat him? Lamar can if he fucking ran the ball like a real ass nigga.
That's what me and my dad talked about too. That's what Patrick Mahomes did to change the game. He literally just said, I'm going to run it. Fuck it. I don't even care. They got him covered down the field. They got me locked up in the pocket. The second I think that hole opens up, Fred Warner is not really spying because they can't spy because you can't keep too much in the box right there. And
bro, he gave Fred a little shimmy and threw him off, bro. That's something, bro. Fred ain't no joke.
I would love to like stand on the field with Patrick Mahomes and really see how quick he is. Respectfully, like some people are just good at being able to like they're great at.
I think it's more spatial awareness than anything.
Yeah, and that's what Tony Romo kept saying. He literally kept saying, he's like, dude, he can feel everything. Like he can feel guys down the field that are like have a split, like a sliver of space.
Because
like,
one thing about like evading people and stuff like that like it's not so obvious. Like, but people like us who play sports, we obviously know these little things. Is the slightest angle can make it almost impossible for somebody to get to you. So, like, if you see somebody coming to you and you're able to angle your body slightly, in football they call it making yourself skinny, right? Like when you see somebody get through a hole and it's like, how the fuck did he get to that hole? And all he did was really kind of shift his body like this, and he made himself skinny. And it's just that sliver of space that you just said that throws everything off. It throws the timing off for the defender. It makes the defender had taken a bad angle, so it's almost impossible with the speed you're going at and the speed they're going at to change direction and catch you if you're able to do that. And I think that's what he's really good at.
Yeah, I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes, like, I'm not going to sit here and, like, deny, like, I mean, he's great. I mean, he's done amazing things. I mean, granted, I knew whenever that game went to overtime, that game was fucking over, especially, and these dumbass 49ers. Can you believe they said they didn't even speak about the overtime rule?
That shit was crazy.
And then they got other, but dude, he's explaining it on the field. Did they not listen? I'm like, damn, football players really proven they do not have brain cells. Like he explained, the ref literally said, we're starting a new game. Like both teams get a chance to possess the football. If the first team scores, the other team has to score a touchdown.
As soon as the 49ers got a field goal, I knew that was a wrap.
It was over. I said, the funny thing is, if they go down and kick a field goal, like that's the best thing that's going to happen. I said, if they kick a field goal, this game will be over. And let me put it in the perspective for you. The 49ers had the ball for 7.5 minutes in a 15-minute overtime. 7.5 minutes. They had the defense literally. Like Chris Jones made a great play on the ball at one point, and Tony Romo, it made me laugh actually. He literally said, the only reason Chris Jones made that play is because he couldn't get out of his stance. He was so tired. Like the line was moving as if he was at full capacity or full speed or full strain. And he made the play simply because he could not get out of his stance. And the simple fact is that halftime, that overtime was dictated by the same thing I mentioned earlier. You gave Christian McCaffrey the ball for the first half of the field, and then you said, nah, we're not going to do it now. Screw that. Brock's going to be the guy that gives us the hero play. Who gives a fuck about Brock Purdy, dude? And you know what? The fact that they didn't, quote-unquote, know the rules, it doesn't matter. The head coach has to know the rules, bro. Like, he has to know, like, oh, the overtime rules. Okay, cool. We probably should go for it. And then taking the ball first in overtime? Why? Why would you ever do it? You know how hard it is to stop an NFL football team from going 10 yards on 4 plays guaranteed every single set of downs? It's so damn hard, especially with the modern day NFL and how it plays to the offensive side of the football. Like, you literally said, hey, Patrick Mahomes, look, we're going to score a field goal. You're going to start at the 25. We're going to kick the ball back off to you guys. You're going to easily get down to probably the 30, 35. They did have I think there was a big call that had happened that got them down the field a little bit. And then they had a 2nd and 14 and let them get a first down. What? Like, what are you doing?
So Kyle Shanahan explained himself, and I get the explanation, but it's almost like, dude, do you know who's on the other side of that fucking field? Do you know that's Patrick? Like, that's one thing if it was fucking the Lions or if it was the Ravens or something like that. It's fucking Patrick Mahomes on the other side of the field. That your explanation. So for the audience out there is listening, if you wanted to know the rationale behind what Kyle Shanahan was thinking, he was thinking that in a scenario where both teams had perfect drives, he wanted the ball third. So like Sterling explained, the rules were each team gets a possession, right? So let's say hypothetically the 49ers went down and scored a touchdown. the Chiefs still get the ball and still get a chance to score a touchdown. If the Chiefs had the ball and they go down and they also score a touchdown, now it's final elimination. Now the 49ers get the ball, and if they score anything, that game is over. But even in that logic, it's flawed because if, let's say, the 49ers did get that touchdown and then the Chiefs went down and scored a touchdown, they had already said, well, for starters, the Chiefs had said their game plan was if they won the toss, they were deferring, which is what they should have done. And secondly, they said if they didn't have to defer and the 49ers scored a touchdown and they went down and scored a touchdown too, they were going for 2 to close the game out. Because if they would have gotten 2, that's game over. 49ers don't get the ball back. That's a wrap. So, like, it's poor. It's poor. And the players were using it as excuses. They were like, I didn't know. I'm like, nigga, that's just more of an indictment of how much y'all are fucking not worthy of the Super Bowl, bro. How the fuck not? Yeah, you a professional football player. I do not know the rules.
That's your job. You live and breathe this. You have a family, and then you have football, bro. That's all you got, brother. That is literally all you.
It's been the rules for 2 years.
Yes, and the thing is I sat there, and in the PAT, I literally sat there and I said, the NFL is so scripted. This motherfucker kicked that ball low as all hell and let them tip that ball. Dude, you and I, we ain't 6'3", bro. We ain't 6'3", 250 pounds, ripped and crazy athlete, like super freak athletes. Dude, we could have got up there and blocked that kick. Yeah. Easy. And I said, I can't believe this. Like, this kid just kicked it like he's kicking a 60, 75-yard field goal.
Well, you can tell the writer's strike is over because goddamn did they script the fucking Super Bowl. That was a beautifully scripted Super Bowl.
It was beautifully scripted. And I sat there and I said to myself, Steve Wilkes called a great game for a majority of it. I mean, almost 3 perfect quarters.
I think he called a perfect game all the way throughout, and the last drive was just Patrick.
Yeah, I think so. There was a couple plays, and Tony Romo pointed it out, and I saw it too before the play had started. It was in overtime or it was in the fourth quarter, one of the two. I can't remember the exact situations, but they had 5 deep, so they put basically all DBs and cornerbacks back. They left Fred Warner in the basically kind of as a middleman, not spying, but playing a middle zone. I think it was on the second and 14 play. They were playing on the first down. All 5 of the guys, and then am I counting this one? 5, 1, 4. So it would be 10. 2 linebackers. 2 linebackers, and though they had losing Trey Greenlaw was huge because.
That was fucked. Yeah,
that was fucked up.
I saw someone tweeted the comebacks were ACL tear. Do you remember? Have you ever seen the comebacks?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god! So there's this player. His name is ACL Terry, and the coach keeps calling him ACL tear. And anytime he walked out there, I think he slipped on a sunflower seed, and his whole leg fucking snapped. And they were like, "This is Drake Greenlaw." I felt bad for him, bro. You know that's fucking such a shitty. Just running out there, bro. That's so shitty.
He was just hyped up. He's like, "All right, let's get the intensity up, whatever." Because the Burt kid, I can't remember the kid's first name off the top of my head, but the Burt kid played a good game. They said he's a good run stopper. He's a really good in the.
But they were eating him in the passing game.
Yeah, because it's you get put on in those zones with Travis Kelce, and you're having to rub him off, and he's just finding the hole. See, Fred Warner can't do it all. He literally can't do it all because he played a phenomenal game. Just watching it. But there was a specific play on the second and 14 where they dropped 5 and they were basically 5 guys, and they just basically gave them the first down if they wanted to. They literally were "Hey, take it." And that's what Patrick Mahomes did. There was not one deep ball after the second quarter that Patrick Mahomes threw. Not one ball, I think, over 10 yards.
Well, here's one thing I've noticed about Patrick Mahomes is, and he's very Brady-esque about this, he always does what's given to him.
He never.
When you watch him, you see him scramble, and you think that Patrick Mahomes is this aggressive player who's trying to get the big play. That's really not what he does at all. If you give him 7 yards, he's going to be like Brady. He's going to take his 7 yards, and if he needs a big play, he can do that too. But he really just he takes whatever you give him, and which is really great about him. And I know Romo was saying too, like he loves zone, which the 49ers were playing a lot of, and he picks that shit out, bro.
It's too fucking easy, bro. You have one of the best tight ends ever, and this is that's what I said. Travis Kelce does not run routes, bro.
No, he doesn't.
He does, and people have to know this, bro. Unless it's the design like pick play or things like that, he's not running a fucking route. He's going into the zone because the zone, like now in the NFL, because back in the day they used to play man all the time. You're manning the fuck up, and that's where they get DBs getting in and out of the league, bro, or cornerbacks getting in and out of the league. That's why there was such a high turnover for that particular position because, like, dude, you can't cover. Like, we can't keep you on the team. But now it allows for less turnover because a lot of people aren't good at – not a lot of people. I think half of the quarterbacks in the NFL are good at playing against the zone. The other half aren't. Like, because they have one guy on their team that's really good at man-to-man. They can just, like, bomb it or, like, fucking let him work. Like a CD. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's not good at the zone. But just –
No, for sure. And, you know, it doesn't even make sense to play zone against the Chiefs because who are you scared of? They have no receivers. Bump those niggas. They led the league in drops all year. I'm getting in them niggas' faces and make them beat me. Like one thing I'm gonna do is I'm staying on Travis. Yo, I'm gonna keep you out of the game, which they did a great job at in the first half, right? They kept him out of the game, but he went crazy the second half. But I'm playing man-to-man. You're going to have to beat me. The only person I respect as a receiver for the Chiefs is Rashee Rice. Everybody else, you got to beat me. MVS, we know he can make big plays when it matters. Or McCole Hardman, like, they've been in big games, so you know there's some level of respect. I'm not trying to, like, disrespect these players. But from a down-to-down basis, Rashee Rice is the only person that I'm like, all right, I got to account for you. Everybody else, like, I'm bump and grind. Like, let's do this.
Bro, dude, the thing is like, I said this when my dad and I were talking, I was like, there's two things on both sides of football with both quarterbacks. Brock Purdy was throwing at literally first-team cornerbacks every single play. I'm like, why are we throwing at first-team corners? Like, Brandon Ayuk, I'm going to be honest, Brandon Ayuk played a good game and didn't have the stats to show it because I was watching, like, the routes he was running. Granted, some of them are designed. He's just a really good route runner. Like Tony Romo kept mentioning, he's one of the best route runners in the NFL. That's why he's so damn good, not just because of his speed and his athleticism. This man brought Purdy because I think they put, what's his name, their first-team guy, one of their first-team guys on Debo. When he got into the slot.
I think Humphrey was on Debo and Snead was on Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm going to be honest, bro. What about George Kittle? I know he went out in the game at some point for a little bit. But like, and then you still have Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield. What are we doing? Like, and if we're talking about Patrick Mahomes and what he did, it's like, bro, Steve Wilkes. I think I told my dad this. I said, look, I have a lot of respect for both coaches both the offensive and defensive coordinator being in Kyle Shanahan, obviously head coach as well for the team, and the defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes. Obviously, respect the black man for doing what he did out here at Carolina, and then obviously being a phenomenal defensive coordinator this year. And he definitely needs to have a head coaching job in the next 2 years. That being said, I said they got too scared of the moment. Steve Wilkes felt the moment more than anything because he got fucking scared because zone is a safe play. Zone is supposed to be safe. Like, they can't get bombs on you in zone, which is true. They don't get bombs on you in zone, bro. But who the fuck are they going to bomb to? If they get a bomb to Travis Kelce, y'all should be ashamed. Like a bomb.
They had that one to, who was it, McCole Hardman?
Yeah. Yeah, and that was
a beautiful ball, bro. That ball.
Yeah, great ball. I mean, and that's a great ball. I don't expect to do that, him to be open every single play. I take one, whatever, fuck it, take it on the chin.
No, for sure.
Man the fuck up, man, and literally just be like, all right, Pat, like, we're gonna put Fred in the middle. He gonna spy your shit, and Fred can keep. I mean, he can keep up. Like, it's not any. There's no secret, and let the other guys Fred cover Travis out of the backfield. Let Burt sit in the middle. And your defensive linemen are doing a fantastic job of keeping him in the pocket. So, like, where is he going to go? Like,
I will say this about Steve, and I will give him – I feel like – I kind of interpret it a little bit different. I didn't feel like he got scared of the moment. I feel like he was trying everything in the book. Like, he was like, I feel like this nigga was like, what can we throw at him? Like, I've given him everything, and especially on that last drive when Patrick was dealing, bro, I feel like he was just like, I gotta try something else. I gotta give this nigga Mahomes looks that he ain't seen this game. And
they brought like a 7. They brought like a cover 0 at one point, and it was so close. I mean, it was literally a millisecond from working, bro, because he was sacked, and he said, boom, and he just got out. I said, oh, God, this motherfucker, bro. But let's talk about something even more important than who won the Super Bowl, the halftime show. Mike, I gotta let you start it off and let you know, like, figure out what you think. I ain't gonna lie, I've been listening to You Don't Have to Call for like all day.
You don't have to call.
That shit goes too hard, bro. Oh, God, I'm gonna let you start off. Bro.
All right, let me okay, so I foreshadowed this conversation at the beginning of the pod, if you remember. I was telling you, so Sterling was talking about he was hanging with black friends this weekend. Well, I watched the Super Bowl with some white friends, right? And it was very apparent to me that they were all white. Obviously, I got eyes, so I knew they were white. But their whiteness stuck out as soon as the halftime show started, right? And it was funny to me because at the end when they were done, I was like, man, that was awesome. They all thought it was awesome, but they were like, yeah, like it ended really good. I didn't know the first few songs. And I was like, that's when I was like, all right, y'all need to all sit y'all ass down. This ain't for you guys. Because I knew all them songs. He started off with Caught Up, and that was like, and they didn't know Caught Up. I'm like, I'm so
How do you not know this song?
Like, bro, what is going on? No.
I had the CDs back in the day, bro. Come on now. Like, damn.
I want to take this time to give Usher his motherfucking flowers because he did exactly what I was hoping for him to do. And thank God that the album wasn't a prerequisite of what was to come in the Super Bowl halftime show because the album's trash. That's just some booty leak, bro.
He had one good song up the album. I can't remember the name of it.
Cold-Blooded?
Huh?
Was it Cold-Blooded with the Dream?
I think it was, but he had
I like Cold-Blooded with the Dream, but everything else was fucking garbage. You can keep that shit, though. But no, let me not shy that away. I'm sorry, Usher, because this is your moment. I don't want to shit on you on your moment. No, the halftime show was fucking phenomenal, bro. And I don't know what you were doing before the show, like if you were snorting lines of coke or maybe you were mad nervous and doing hella rehearsals, because my man started the fucking show dripped in sweat and out of breath. I was like, bro, what the fuck were you doing before this shit? Did you forget that you had a halftime show? Like, why were you so sweaty and tired from the jump? But it was crazy, man. The choreography was awesome. He did his absolute thing. Alicia Keys tried to screw it up for her with her fucked up voice and shit like that. I don't know, but she looked amazing. She looked amazing.
Incredible.
Swizz Beatz, I know he posted that Instagram saying, this is straight. Like, when you really secure, you love your woman, nigga, shut your dumb ass up. This is what should be talking about, bro. Secure my ass, bro. Do you not know that Usher had it first? My boo, and he was holding on to it like she was still. Nah, Swizz Beatz. You gotta sit your ass down.
I'm sorry, I know it's a performance. I had to speak about this for a second. Like, bro, I was thinking, I'm like, bro, I wish I was him right now. I'm sitting here like, damn, let me get some hump.
That little red suit, bro. I heard like,
she looked fire. Like, look, I've been said this, bro. There's something about a black woman class, brother. Like, with this class. She didn't hit that note, which I was very just like, wow. Okay.
She didn't hit no type of note.
She missed, and granted, it might be the end of her days. She ain't got to make normal money because New York, the song with her and Jay-Z is still making millions.
Yeah.
But, dude, that, like, energy, when she came out, I was like, oh, my God. So I was like, oh, God. And then she said, ah. I was like, oh, I said, this is gonna be a rough one. But I'm gonna let you finish. I'm sorry.
No. I was thinking the same thing too. I mean, to be fair, I didn't really notice it in the moment as much until like I saw it on Twitter, just because I was just in awe of the performance in itself, right? Like, I thought it was great. She looked amazing. One thing about Alicia Keys, especially nowadays too, she like pulls off this very like natural look too that like it's very underappreciated, especially in today's generation when it comes to females. Like, you ain't got to do all that crazy shit. Like, she looked perfectly fine.
Just take care of yourself. She's been gifted though too. She's been
gifted. Yeah. God had time that day. He had a little time that day. No other shit was going on. But no, Usher did good, man. It was crazy. He brought out the skates like I wanted to. That was fire. The performance was crazy. I like his wardrobe. His wardrobe was really cool, very Michael-esque with the sparkles.
He took his shirt off, bro. And I said to myself, dang. And no weird shit, bro. I was like, this nigga is a god right now. He is a god. I'm like, and I'm like, if I'm watching this with my girl, like if I had a girl and I'm watching this, I'm feeling hella uncomfortable. I'm like, hey, we could just turn this off for like 2 seconds, like just 2 quick seconds, like slide it.
It's crazy because like he looks exactly the same that he's always looked. Like, he hasn't aged a day. Like, it's insane. But I was thoroughly impressed, thoroughly pleased. It's exactly what I wanted. I wanted everyone to walk away saying this was one of the best performances since Beyonce, and I saw that all over my timeline. People were saying that this was like one of the top-notch performances, which people were surprised of, but we spoke on this pod. I was not surprised. This was my expectation. I thought anything lower than him knocking out of the park would have been a failure because he is one of them. When it comes to performers, he is one of the premier performers. And the last thing, and I'm going to let you go, Sterling, that this made me realize right here, because what Usher did from a choreographed standpoint, from the way he moved, the way he kind of controlled the stage, the only thing I walked away with is, damn, Chris Brown would be the best halftime performance of all time. Because Chris Brown would have been that on motherfucking steroids when it comes to choreograph. Because you don't really have to, like, Usher wasn't really singing all that much. Like, his mic was turned down hella low.
Nah, that nigga was exhausted.
Yeah. Exhausted.
It's hard. It's hard, though. Like, you know that. It's hard.
So, I thought it was a 10 out of 10 performance. It was great.
Yeah. Crash Bandicoot, Chris Brown, we know how it goes. I mean, that would have been fire. Have you seen that meme, by the way, of like Chris Brown dance like when you don't touch the controller on Crash Bandicoot?
Oh, that makes sense, though. Yeah, I didn't see it, but I could definitely picture that shit. But Crash Bandicoot was fire back in the day, too, by the way.
Yes. One of the best games of all time, in my opinion. I gotta say, right before the Super Bowl halftime show, I was on Instagram. And I'm like, damn, what the fuck is this halftime show? Because they went to like a commercial, and I was like, God, bro, like I don't even want to see a fucking commercial right now. And I saw somebody like, if Usher do this shit, the I don't even know what you call it. Like, I don't even know what that move is called. And he did that shit. I said, damn, he's him. That's him. He's him. I'm gonna be honest. I know that there was obviously bets on like what was the first song to like.
Everybody lost that bet, bro. Nobody had caught up.
It is a good song to start off, but you would guess because it's like yeah.
Well, I felt like you would end on I guess OG. I thought it would have been OG.
Ooh, that's a good intro song too. But either way, I was like, I'm literally from the second he stepped down onto the stage, I was encaptured. Like I literally was like, I felt like I was at the show. Like, I was so hyped. And it's funny enough because my roommate was out of town and his girlfriend had to actually pop in to grab some stuff, like, I guess after the halftime show, grab some stuff from his room. And she was like, where was Justin Bieber? And I'm like, nobody wanted to see that nigga, bro. I didn't want to see Justin Bieber. And I was like, he's like, oh, something about Rihanna. I said, well, it's the best performance he had in a decade, basically. And And she was like, what about Rihanna? I'm like, Rihanna was fucking trash.
Yo, y'all women gotta chill out. That shit was booty leap, bro.
That was so. You're lying. You literally are lying to yourself. You said that was good. The only reason you say it was good is because she was a woman, and I'm gonna be 100%.
And because it's Rihanna. Like,
and it's because it's Riri, yeah. And no offense to Riri, that shit was garbage. You ain't never get another chance.
And she was pregnant, so like I don't like hold it against her, but like if I'm calling a spade, that shit was trash.
That shit was trash. So, and I'm looking at Usher's performance. Obviously, a huge turnaround from last year, and I was just super excited because, like you, I'm vibing to every song. Like I said, I've been listening to "You Don't Have to Call." I'm telling you on repeat because that shit just. You don't have to call. It's okay, girl. I'm like, oh, dude, this is 2000s R&B. It is perfection at its finest. People are like, oh, you can't perform R&B. You can't do this on stage. Brother, there's levels to this shit, bro. There is literally levels to it. And when he came out with the roller blades, you were talking about like he's been doing the roller skating thing before. We talked about it on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
And I think we even talked about when we figured out Usher was going to be the halftime show that you would like. I think you might have predicted that he was going to be the halftime show.
Yeah.
For this year, and I'm like, dude, he did an amazing job. I was so excited to see Alicia Keys. Then he brought out Her, I'm sorry, and she did her like the guitar solo, which was sick as fuck, to be honest. Like, yeah. And I'm like, this is fire. Then I see fucking Lil Jon getting into it. I guarantee you, bro, like if you weren't at the Super Bowl, you could probably feel that. And it's like, for anybody that was rooting for the Chiefs and was hyped, they were probably still hyped from the halftime show into the night. Like, 100%. Because I would have been lit. Like, I would have been lit even if the 49ers.
Oh, you want to wait? One more point on how I knew I was in a room of white people when so Lil Jon came out, Ludacris came out, right, and then everybody was like, "Is that CeeLo Green?" I was like, "Yo, did y'all just call Jermaine Dupri CeeLo Green? Like one of the greatest producers of our fucking lifetime, CeeLo Green, bro? Like, fuck out of it." And CeeLo Green would be lucky to be that slim.
Yeah, I mean, the guest performances were perfect. Everything was perfect. He did a great job of transitioning. He made it sexy. He made it fun. He made it interactive. It's like you're singing all the songs that people are supposed to know. Supposed to know.
Yeah.
He had to hit the radio bangers, like they said, like, oh, they liked it towards the end, like, because I feel like that's everybody that's, no offense, white folks or people that didn't know the songs, you're uncultured. That being said, like, that's why a lot of people would say, oh, towards the end it was great, but at the beginning I was a little caught off. And like, then Alicia Keys came in and it was like, okay, like, brother, Usher was a star of that show. Alicia Keys, I want to mention once again, you look absolutely fire, Swiss Beats. You are a lucky ass man, and you better hope Usher would have somehow in them cheeks while he was there because he might have tried it.
He definitely poked her when he was holding from behind. I guarantee.
Oh, hell yes!
I guarantee.
All that sweat on his body, he thought he was in the bedroom for real.
If you see Alicia Keys goes. She smiled, put her.
Yeah,
she felt it.
I said no. I said you lucky, Swiss Beats. I think Alicia Keys looked like a loyal ass woman. I respect her, but I'm caught up. Like just like he said, caught up, got a feeling. She was caught up for a second.
That's her first love. Like Usher's first love.
Yeah. That, I mean, dude.
How do you fight that? How do you fight like first love is Usher, bro? Like hell no. I'm all kinds of fucking heated right now. Like hell no. I mean, you stay your ass right behind that piano. Don't you get up.
Respect to Alicia Keys for getting out there and trying to do what she normally does. Because normally she's amazing in terms of the singing standpoint. But I mean, sometimes looks can go a lot further than you realize. And that's probably why most people didn't realize until after the fact, like you were saying. But bringing out Lil Jon, someone that literally made millions off of saying his whole career. Luda coming out with the afro, which was fresh. That shit was fire. I'm like, dude, I would go to a 30-minute concert to see that right there. Wouldn't even fucking blink. Wouldn't even think about it. Would not even think about it. Bro. I'm like, yeah. Like I traveled all the way to Vegas to see this for 30 minutes. Yep.
I remember feeling like that halftime show was short. Like I was so into it, like, damn, it's over already. And
yeah, that's what I was saying.
And one thing, my brother, shout out Monty Bynum. One thing he was telling me too is that he kind of notices Apple Music, like they're getting really good people up here in Jay-Z, but the stage design is kind of lackluster compared to the Pepsi halftime show.
Yep, it's stingy. That's what I realized that too. Like I said, the performance itself was great. I wasn't captured, but it is stingy. Like, I mean, they had Jack Harlow come out for like the halftime stuff, like preamble, like the fucking. And I don't know if Apple was part of that stuff for like Detroit's thing too, but like.
And I felt like personally, Apple Music being, you know, $1 trillion fucking company would allocate a larger budget. And I was expecting Apple Music to have a grand scale like stage design, but they really don't do that. But like I said, I feel like one of the primary reasons for it is it probably meant way more to Pepsi than it does Apple. Like, this is just a fucking department. And Apple,
it's a side hustle for them, bro.
Yeah, it's a little department. They don't give a fuck about that. For Pepsi, like, this is their moment in the year. They got to knock this out. And then to speak on Bieber not being there, like, well, one, Usher asked him to, and he declined. He wasn't up for it. But, I mean, I also feel like Bieber's going to get one of these his day. Like, one day Bieber's going to have one of these. So he ain't trying to, like, give up his fucking baby performance to Usher.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna have his own performance. He ain't going out there with Usher. Like, he gonna get his whole set one day, and I'll be looking forward to that one too. To be honest, I ain't tripping.
Yeah, Justin's a commercial guy, and to speak of commercials, were there any commercials that caught your eye? I'm gonna be off the top. I'm gonna be 100% transparent. After Usher came on at the halftime show, I would literally mute the television and listen to Usher. I'm not even fucking capping. I'm literally going to sit here and no lie. I'm sitting here, I'm a little tipsy, and I'm like, it's okay, girl. I did see the Uber Eats one, which was cool, like Jennifer Aniston and all those people. There was another one that was like an I think it was the anti-Semitism one, that they wanted that one to really stand out with the fuck you Jews, and the girl was in the guy with the paint on the shoe and everything. I was like, oh, that's kind, but I honestly don't give a fuck. Like, I'm over this shit. That ain't no disrespect to Jews, though, by the way. I just didn't give a fuck. And there was like a Jesus commercial that caught me like hella off guard. It was like an Us, God, people, us, that whole thing. Yeah. I was like, why the fuck is this on TV right now? Like, I mean, God's great, God is good, but nigga, what? Like, this is the wrong place. You know how many degenerates? You're in Las Vegas. It's literally land of sin. It's literally the city of sin, bro.
Vegas looked like it was probably so much fucking fun there, bro.
Oh, yeah. Probably insane. But
we were asleep, honestly, dog. We probably should have been out there.
I know. If I was feeling, and then UNC about to lose again, I swear to God. But that being said, I think there was one commercial. It's a Dunkin' commercial with fucking J-Lo and
Jack Harlow, Ben Affleck,
Ben Affleck. What's his name? The other shorter guy looks like it was Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Matt Damon, and he went in there. They were doing the fuck. That shit was funny. I ain't gonna lie. That was probably my favorite that I remember. Personally, and then there was a Starry commercial with Ice Spice. Ice Spice is just fucking loaded right now. That bitch, she does whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, that Starry commercial. One thing I kind of like, I feel like she low key can kind of act. She wasn't that wasn't bad acting. She was doing in that commercial.
No, because she's done that. The Dunkin', she got Dunkin' and she got Starry right now. She did the Dunkin' one before with Ben Affleck, because Ben Affleck is a Boston guy. all the Boston guys come together and.
I mean, personally, I thought the commercials were fucking trash.
I mean, yeah, that's why I stopped paying attention to them too.
I thought they were trash. I think like we've gotten into this. It's pissing me off, man, because like we're losing creativity. Like the whole today's society's idea of creativity is just grabbing a celebrity, a big name celebrity. And that's the like the whole premise of the creativity of the commercial is that, you see J-Lo, you see Matt Damon, you see Jack Harlow. Like that's what we did. We spent all the money on that. It's like, dude, like the best commercials that I ever like can think of from back in the day never had a celebrity in them. It was like Doritos commercial, like the little kid smacking the fucking boyfriend that was coming through.
That is the best commercial that has ever been made. I don't care what anyone ever says.
So good.
If you think that's a bad commercial, if you don't think that's the greatest commercial of all time, I don't care. That's the best commercial of all time, bro.
But one of the hardest flex was Kanye. He spent $7 million on a commercial. It only aired in select locations, but it was literally just like his face camera up, and he was like, he was in the backseat of a car that was driving. He was just like, looking mad scruffy. It's Kanye. I got some new like clothes out on Yeezy.com. Like, go get that. And I'm like, dude, that's so hard. I don't understand why, like, if I was a big time up like Kanye, like I'm dropping $7 million. Just gonna put some fucking commercial out during the Super Bowl. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'll say some stupid. I didn't even have nothing to promote. Just be like, I will literally just hop up there and be like, I'm doing this because I got $7 million to blow.
Yep, facts. It's a drop in the bucket.
And that would be the commercial. Like, I'm only doing this. I would have this camera right here sitting in front of this wall. I'm doing this because I have $7 million to blow. Ding.
And I guarantee you, hits are gonna go crazy. And I wanted to mention something because obviously we spoke about commercials. Commercials are great, but most people don't watch commercials because we stream everything. Typically, with streaming, you can skip through, do all that other stuff. If you have ads on your streaming services, you typically aren't watching them. You're disconnecting like your phone. Like I would go on my phone, I was listening to music, I was doing other stuff. Like I was cooking during some of the commercials.
Yeah, commercials phone break for sure.
Yeah, like that's what a commercial is to me. And I mean, like I said, second half, I don't even fucking recall any commercials because I wasn't paying attention. But like I said, I mentioned the Uber Eats one. Obviously, you're putting these big name celebrities, like you said, just having that as the grab and what's going to get people in captured. And I think that, the reason I remember the Ice Spice one so much is because that was like one of the first commercials on that got aired. It was like one of the first ones, which is actually hella smart because most people are paying attention at the beginning, and then it's like, they probably pay some good. Starry had to pay some good bread for that.
I ain't never had a Starry. Have you had it? Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's fire. Actually.
What about that one drink that's supposed to be like that kombucha, the healthy soda?
Poppy.
Yeah, have you had that? I remember that commercial.
Oh, that shit.
And all the girls were talking about like, that's that new like healthy soda.
My ex and used to drink that shit. Like, brother, if you're fucking fat and overweight and don't know how to take care of yourself, stop fucking drinking soda.
Yeah, there's no such thing as healthy soda.
Like, what the fuck is your problem? And I'm not, this ain't no shade to my ex. Like, I ain't saying no, trying to do none of that shit. But I was like, bro, if you want to lose weight, cut the soda. Period. It's not, I'm not saying it's not hard because I have a caffeine addiction. Like, I cannot go a day without some coffee or caffeine. I'd be fiending for that.
There's just no alternative to it. Like, there's not you can drink this soda and you're gonna get the result.
This has zero sugar and zero. No, bro. It's got corn fructose syrup, bro. That's what it's got. Every single soda known to man has fucking fructose syrup. That shit is so bad for you, brother, but it tastes so good. Poppy, I've had Poppy, not worth it. I would never buy it. It's a Target thing, so of course the ladies know about it because they can't go to Target. Yeah, they can't go to Target without, getting something they don't actually need. Shout out to the ladies that go to Target. I love Target. I only go there for two things. I go there for my hygiene stuff and to see other women, just to be fair. I mean, that's just what it is. Spitting facts. It's out of the way for me, bro. I could go to Aldi. I could go to fucking Walmart. I could go to any other place aside from Target to get my shit. Don't need it. Yeah, man, it was definitely underwhelming in terms of commercial side, but everywhere else in regards to Super Bowl was really good. Obviously, we're in an era now where, TV isn't necessarily the number one thing we're watching. We're more attached to our phone. And granted, I didn't even watch it on obviously cable television. I streamed it on CBS. Like I wasn't like on cable television. That being said, if my Wi-Fi would have went out somehow, I'd been fucking pissed.
Did you hear the news about like the new sports app where they're combining ESPN, TNT, basically all sports will be now in one central location on the app. March Madness, yeah. It's fucked. It's fucked. It's so fucked. We're so fucked. We're so fucked. Like basketball, football, March Madness, any sport, NASCAR. They're literally putting them all. Like, not that I watch NASCAR, but like I'm basically telling y'all that no matter what sport you watch, you're fucked. You're gonna have to spend whatever $30 a month this is. But like my dad said, the only benefit that could come from that is the fact that like, you know, if that's the case, in theory, you should be able to always watch whatever is just on,
yes,
right? Facts. So you don't have to be stuck to. They're gonna have like extra packages on that bitch.
Yes. They're recreating cable television. My mom is one of the very few people I know to this day that still pays for cable, which is really convenient because, like I said, if your Wi-Fi goes out or something, you can still watch like.
I mean, we have YouTube TV, which is like it's not cable, but it is the same.
It's the closest thing you can get right now. But like the thing is, YouTube TV is gonna be fucking extinct once that shit goes. Because I mean, it's just a fact. I mean, it's like you put every sport. I'm only watching streams, like streaming sports. I'm not stream. I mean, I stream streams and stuff like that.
I only watched it for sports. Like we basically have it for sports. So yeah.
And it's like Brody. They're gonna. Yes. Holy shit, they're going to make so much money. Oh, it's going to be disgusting.
And there's going to be people who can't watch sports anymore. Like, some people are not going to be able to afford that shit.
Yeah, that's extra shit, bro. Like, you got to pay for Wi-Fi, power, gas, all these other bills, rent, mortgage, etc. And then you got to pay, I got to pay my $35 a month for my sports app. So my kids can watch sports, so we can all watch sports as a family, so I can have my friends over every once in a while.
I'll tell you one thing, if I pay $35 a month, I'm watching all them NBA games. It's not going to be just playoffs anymore. Like, I'm going to be watching.
I'm going to torture myself. Like, I would literally torture myself, like, oh.
Staying up 10:30 to catch the fucking Warriors-Suns game. Like
your girl will be like, hey, hon, come to bed. Like, no, I have to watch.
I'm paying $35.99 for this bullshit.
Like, they got me fucked up. Well, I mean, you still pay for it. It's just fine. No, motherfucker, you're not paying for it. I am. I pay for it. Yeah. You want to watch fucking gymnastics? Guess who's paying for it? Daddy. Daddy's paying for it. Like, that's insane, and I'm not looking forward to. I mean, I am and I'm not, but yeah, man, it's an interesting year, and obviously it's just the beginning now. Like, Super Bowl is like, I mean, this past Super Bowl was the most viewed Super Bowl of all time, most viewed television thing of all time.
Well, for the U.S.
For the U.S., yeah, 121
World Cup
million,
is I think like 4 billion, which is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, worldwide, man, World Cup was fire. I missed that. Can't wait for the next one.
I'm trying to hit a World Cup game when it's,
Well, it's in the United States.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
From the year.
Yeah.
There's one in New York. There's one in
Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah. Atlanta would be sick. New York would be sick too. MetLife would be fire. But I feel like some terrorist that shit would happen up there low key.
That seems like some prime terrorist shit. And it would be fucking busy as a bug.
I mean, I feel like there would be deaths and people shooting and fucking.
I mean, Atlanta might be too. Atlanta might be on some fucking, A-Town bullshit.
I might have to pull up the Texas on no crazy shit because, like, yeah, they love guns down there, but like a lot of white folks and a lot of like either crazy white folks or just normal white folk, and I would be hanging with them.
Yeah, Texas would be chill. New Jersey would be chill too.
Yeah, New Jersey would be chill. Probably have to run into some mass or some assholes up there, which would be normal, but whatever. I mean, you pull up to the Newark airport, you already met an asshole like within 10 seconds while you're there.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, look, man, I great start of the year, man. New album, Super Bowl was great. Fuck Patrick Mahomes. I hate that nigga. J-Lo looked fire. I meant to say Alicia Keys, you look fire. Usher, you did a fantastic job.
Beyonce looked that blonde hair, bro. God damn, bro.
Jay-Z, you lucky you got money, you ugly ass nigga.
He's someone that monkey looking ass nigga.
Right, and it's sad to say, like I see like Blue like starting to look like Jay-Z even more, and I'm like, oh, God, like.
Yeah, if I was his kids and I'm looking in the mirror like, damn, I'm starting to look like this. I got my mom's over here looking like this, and I got this nigga's genes.
You want both of your kids to look like your fucking mother, man. You want both of your kids to look like your mom. That is where beauty comes from. Unless your dad's a damn supermodel, which 99% of us aren't, you don't want to look like your fucking dad. Period, brother. Unless you're and like I heard something, I was watching this video, like these people are doing the bullshit blind dates, and the girls look, I like more feminine features, like a man, like physical, like less hair on the face, all that good stuff. And this kid literally looked like, he was a handsome kid. He's like, I mean, the kid was probably like 5'5", bro, I ain't gonna cap, but like, I mean, great smile, no facial hair, like 24 years old. I was like, yeah, damn, bro, I can't even fathom, brother. You look like a child. You look like 18. With that being said, man, great start of the year. We start a new job next week. So by this time next week, you will see me as probably fucking tired as fuck, to be honest with you. Learning new material and whatnot, but we keep going, we keep treading. Happy Valentine's Day for the people that are celebrating. This shit could be depressing as hell for me. This could be depressing as hell. But honestly, man, for the people out there, you know, if it's your mom, your sister, your girlfriend, wife, fiance, whatever, you know, show love to the women in your life tomorrow, you know, in whatever way, especially if they don't have that same, that love that they have, you know, in their current lifestyle right now. Give them some chocolates, give them some flowers, send them something. I know I'm sending my mom some flowers and some chocolates and a little edible arrangement for my sister as well. So like, do something for your family, for the women in your life, because they're going to really appreciate it, man. And women out there, for your mans, fuck, like having sex is normal, bro. Like that's not doing shit anymore. Like we need more. Like buy us dinner. Like damn. Like it's been 5 years. Like why am I buying dinner every single Valentine's Day? That's a personal experience.
That was a very specific. It's been 5 years.
Like let's change it up. Y'all want to show us like you want us to, like it shouldn't be us wanting you all the time, because it's like damn, like we got to do all this little shit. Like just stay loyal and like vibe with me, and let's watch a movie. Let's not go spend $200 on a dinner and drinks. Like let's vibe.
Nah, I second that. So you know, I feel like that's a great way to close this one out, people. This was episode 40. Big moves coming up. 40 episodes down. Well, you already know, man. So for the fellas out there listening, listen, they only want a 1% nigga. So quit your bitching and get your bread up. For the ladies out there listening, he don't want you, sweetie. But it's okay, because you're still beautiful and powerful and will always love you. It's the After Dark podcast. Until next time.
Except for the hose.